Welcome everyone to Mystics pregame. We got Cardo Dudley Jr. as always and Wilson Tarpe Jr. Head over to FocusTV.com so you can stay up to date with everything we have going on for Mystics Outlook. It'll be Wizards pregame Outlook in a little while as well. Then our weekly editions of the Focus TV. You can see all that over our channels over on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. That 24/7 live feed is also available right there. Available on our website as well. So get over there for the latest interviews and news as well as premium content that we have, including tonight's pregame and outlook. But Cardell, Washington's homestand continues. Tonight they host a visiting Atlanta Dream. Washington has won the first three games of this homestand. Couple of those three wins with the two before the All-Star break. They're riding a 5-game win streak into this matchup, including Wednesday night, they rallied from 20 down to beat Dallas for the second time in a couple of days, which allowed them to beat Dallas 2-1 in their season series. So a similar situation here where, we mentioned on Wednesday that Washington had split the season series with Dallas. That's what it's split with Atlanta at this moment. Tiebreakers essentially is tonight, which matters as we get towards playoff seeding, which is where we're hoping that Washington ends up, obviously. Atlanta, on the other hand, they're coming off a 96-82 win over the Phoenix Mercury. The Dream are currently atop the Eastern Conference standings with a record of 19-11. So big game tonight, especially as it pertains to the Eastern Conference seedings and obviously overall seedings when we start talking about the playoffs. Injury report, Washington has no injuries to report, which has been great. We've been saying that over and over for the past 5 games. For Atlanta, they are without dynamic guard Tahina Pow. So Cardell, before we started, you mentioned ice tub type of game. What does Washington have to do to come on the other side of this one tonight? Obviously, it would extend their winning streak to 6, but most importantly, that'd be another playoff caliber team in which they would have the tiebreaker over in the playoff standings.
Excuse my language. This a grown ass woman game right here, especially the position both teams are in and the home stretch for the playoffs. Um, Atlanta is the top team in the East record wise right now, 19-11. As you just said, they're both 1-1. With the Mystics on the 5-game winning streak, they're right behind them at 17-12. Both teams are top 5 in defense. I think the Mystics, second in points allowed, 83.2, third in defensive rating, 105.4, and the Dream is fifth in points allowed, 85.9, defensive rating, they're fourth, 106.8. The Mystics are with the Dream. I'm gonna start with the Dream. They're third in the WNBA, averaging 34.7 rebounds per game, and the Mystics have been number one all year, averaging 37.2 rebounds per game. I think y'all know where I'm getting at. This is the equivalent of if you're a boxing fan, if Ann Wolfe was still boxing and she fights Clarissa Shields in the center of the ring. And they just slugging it out. That's what this type of game is going to be. The thing with the Dream, they like to muddy up the game, take teams out their comfort zone, physical, beat on them, kill them on the boards, play suffocating physical defense, and then they like to get the ball in, Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray hands and let them kind of close, what I'm saying, in the fourth. But the problem with the Mystics, and that happened in the first game where they beat them, where the Dream beat the Mystics handily. The second game was a complete turnaround. The Mystics matched their physicality, and they got production from Shakira and Sonia and whatnot to kind of overcome that. And Georgia had a good game. It's one of her early games where she started kind of figuring things out, and she's a big asset. She had 11 points in that game. They weathered the storm. Ryan Howard had 24. She weathered the storm. Alicia Gray had 17. Angel Reese had a good game, 13 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, and 6 of 15, but she fired out. So that helped the Mystics cause late, and they were able to pull it out 81-76. But in that game, the difference was that was during the stretch when the Mystics were turning the ball over galore. They had 27 turnovers in that game, and the Dream scored 28 points. Yeah, it was something. Yeah, I don't mean to take it back there. We went to therapy. We got that out our head. Yeah, man. This stretch kind of made us forget about that, man. But yeah, they had 27 turnovers, and the Dream
Hey,
scored 28, man. Yeah,
20. My
27.
bad. Go ahead. Just
Yeah, yeah. It was some tough growing pains, but even with that, they pulled it out because I feel like they had more offensive versatility. They had more weapons up and down that roster than the Dream do. Like I'm talking about as far as like you can give them the ball and they can go make somehow create and get a bucket or make a play, and that was their edge. And being at home definitely helped. And like I said, with Angel fouling out, because they got the bigs to kind of her motor's unmatched. Her motor's unmatched, but you got bigs you could throw at her where, if they staying strong, it can kind of neutralize her to a point. You know what I mean? 13-13 is still a hell of a game, but if she getting her 20 and 15 or 20 and 20, those type of games, and like 5 or 6, you're in trouble. That means she's dominating every aspect of the game, man, and that's something you don't want. Also, at that time, they killed them. The Dream killed them a fast break points in that game as well, 13-4. So with that being said, they still managed to win with those two things working against them because they just shot the ball flat out better, man. They, like I said, the Dream shot 37%, the Mystics shot 55. The Dream shot 23% from deep. The Mystics shot 56. Um, Neither team shot well from the free throw line, but they made up for it with just more efficient shot making, and that's why I feel like the Mystics have the edge. If they were down to ride and battle and bang all for 40 minutes and be physical with the Dream. If you're not willing to be physical with the Dream, you're going to lose. Um, and I don't think that's the case with the Mystics no more. This is a totally different team. They've grown up since that last matchup. The last matchup when I'm trying to see July 2nd. So that was over a month ago. You know what I mean? Pretty much a month and a half ago. Totally different team, man. So we're gonna see how I go. But I just think everybody knows what was at stake. I know the Dream want to stop their winning streak, and I know the Mystics want to win to get the edge up on them because they're the top team in the East. You know what I'm saying? Even though the playoffs are all the same, but they're trying to move up in the standings and try to get some type of home court. You could just tell. So you got to win these tough games, especially at home. You definitely can't drop games at home during this stretch if you're serious about moving up in the playoff standings. So we're gonna see how it go, man. But yeah, expect a lot of fouls, make free throws, take care of the ball. Obviously, don't beat yourselves and just play your brand of ball. You should be fine. But you got to match your dream physicality because you know what they coming with. That's first and foremost.
Yeah, I think it's something you said a lot, like over the past month. Honestly, just talking about again, just reminding folks this isn't the same Mystics teams that a lot of these teams seen the last time they played. Like you cited the dates. The last time the Dream faced them, same thing for the Wings. I think that was mentioned with a couple other teams before too. And I just think this is huge. Like you said, if they're really serious about where they want to be, this is another big test. Obviously, it's not the end of the world if they don't, but say you're able to get this one, like that's huge. You're going into, those 2 games you got next week on the road. Those are huge. Give yourself a little wiggle room because after tonight, this is the fourth game of the homestand. You got the Mercury in your building on Sunday, and then you got back-to-back games Tuesday and Thursday of next week against the Las Vegas Aces. We just saw what they did to the Fever. They pulled the Mystics, rally from 20 down. They needed OT, but the way they did that was just very rude. And this is the second straight year in which we got to this portion of the season, and they're on demon time apparently this time of the year every time. But like you said, for Washington, just like with Dallas, you got a huge chance, man. So you're able to get tonight's game. You got the tiebreaker over Atlanta, and we don't know how the things are going to shake out the rest of the way with the seedings. That goes a long way, and you're a young team. If anybody, where home court is beneficial, it's beneficial to this group. Not to say they can't win on the road, but you've done this much work. Why not? Why not put yourself in the best position to be playing at home? So, you're on mute.
They're 3.5 games out of the third seed, um, and that's because of the winning, man. You third 3.5, 1.5 from the Dream catching the Dream. Like you win this, and then you say you got the Mercury on Sunday. You literally can go up against the Aces and be the third or fourth seed, literally. And then it's really on because now it's like not only did you beat them last time, you winning like you in the mix. You up there in the standings. Oh, we gotta take them serious. Oh, these young girls getting out of hand. They're getting disrespectful. You guys show them it's levels. They're not quite
Right.
ready. That's what it's gonna be, and
Yep.
I think that's what the Dream gonna try to do tonight. But they gotta withstand it. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it should be fun. If you don't count this game, 14 games left. Each game matters, man.
Yeah, it is no reason, as much as they've shown us, they've shown us the growth, and we've seen them figure out how to win, all types of games. So yeah, you just got to be honest about where they are right now, and it's a huge opportunity. I'm eager to see how it's another test. Let's see how they fare. Look forward to speaking with you guys after the game. Cardell, you had any final thoughts before we get out here? All right, y'all, enjoyed a nice game. Big one, obviously, and we'll see by the end of the night. One of these two teams are going to have the tiebreaker in an important Eastern Conference race. Because, like you said, they're 2 games out of third. I assume the top two teams are Western Conference teams, correct?
No, the top three.
Record wise.
No, the top 3 are Western Conference teams, and they 3.5 back of the 3rd seed with the Valkyrie. They got 3.5. But I think it's Minnesota, Aces, Valkyries, and then Dream was the top 4.
Which goes a long way. So this puts you in a great position in the Eastern Conference if you're able to take this from the Dream tonight. Huge. So we'll check in with you guys on Outlook. As always, appreciate y'all for stopping by for pregame. Enjoy the nice game.